hatred, war, and violence against indigenous peoples, humanity, and the world, Mother Earth itself. Yet we're a centerpiece of the very fiber of what democracy is. Yet we're always seen as the other, the invader, the foreigner, the stranger in our own lands, as someone that doesn't belong here. What? We're the original Aboriginal peoples of these lands, just like around the world, our brown sisters and brothers in the Middle East, Filipinos are also our indigenous brothers and sisters. You know, this time should be a joyous celebration. Yesterday was a gathering. And let me tell you something, those pilgrims, those Puritans didn't start Thanksgiving. They stole that from us. After that gathering, the Pequot Indian peoples were celebrating their harvest. That was something that happens every November across Indian land. It's harvest time. They fed the pilgrims, saved them from starvation and extinction the following year. Those very same Puritans attacked and eliminated the village, over 700 men, women, and children, to the hostilities for the pilgrims that exist even today in the Puritan evangelical world of this country. Like I said, it should be a joyous occasion, but it isn't. I find no reason to celebrate why cultural spiritual war rages against my people here and your people on the other side of the planet. The ruling class of the privileged and the elite are threatened by our sheer numbers and the new alliances that we represent. And we also are the 90% who are us, the poor and working class in this country. Through domination, they control every aspect of the society. Their system of government is broken and must be transformed into something more. The U.S. empire speaks the language of universal rights. We're the good guys. We're democracy. Really? As an indigenous man myself, we are still under occupation here after 500 years.
Right.
They speak this language of, peace and justice and democracy, while practicing exclusion, denying asylum seekers. As for refugee status, is a privilege only to be given to the select white few. The new demographic landscape has changed forever. Peoples of these lands are no longer the minority. Here in California, we represent 43% of the population. And when you add those numbers to the Black, Asian, and Middle Eastern communities, and women and youth, we are the new face of this country. We are the new majority. And we're creating a new world where many worlds are possible. Si se puede, yes we can. But again, it's hard for me to think about celebrating because right now we are witnessing the genocide of our brothers and sisters of the brown indigenous peoples of the Middle East in front of our very eyes. Over 10 to 12,000 lives have been lost, and thousands of children have been killed by Israel's airstrikes, and the numbers still climbing. Entire family trees have been extinguished. Israel has cut off access to water, electricity, and prevented humanitarian aid from reaching the over 2 million Palestinos living in the Gaza Strip, creating a crisis of untold proportions. Today, that ends. It's blood, tears, and sweat it takes to cause change in this country. Bring awareness to be seen and be heard. The truest act of humanity is to sacrifice ourselves for the common of others in a totally non-violent struggle. And that's where we are. We're not here to fight. We're here to resist. To resist. We're not here to get into it. We are here to bring peace and justice to this world. And as I said, as an indigenous man, I know what occupation is. I know what it is to be forced relocated. They cleared the land so that white settlers could feel safe, and they created reservations away from the white settlers. And now today, our reservations hold mineral and resources that they want. Well, guess what? They're not going to be able to take the water. They're not going to be able to take the air. They're not going to be able to take the ground. And again, the fire is sacred to all of us. That said, we are together on this. It's going to take us, not them, us, to come together. And I tell you, the indigenous and native nations of this country are behind you, just as we are.